Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to episode 278 of the 4,000 Question Challenge, and Mandarin is with us. When are you apt to cry? Whenever I'm feeling a strong emotional experience? It could be because it's in the moment, I'm having a tough conversation, a painful memory, I'm watching a particularly moving film, or I even have a particularly moving thought all by my onesies, with nothing else externally stimulating me. It's all in my head. I've cried under all of those circumstances. What makes you feel guilty? I strive not to feel guilty. I don't know if I would want to ponder what would make me feel guilty. So yeah, hard pass on that one. What do you like to do to lift your spirits? I spend time with my wife. I watch comedies. I make videos. I listen to music and podcasts and ASMR videos. Um, I make. So I do all kinds of things. It helps, usually, not always. Um, when have I acted phony? I'd like to say that never, but the reality is I've lied. I've acted phony to impress people, to as a social lubricant, um, because I didn't want to be someplace, but I had to be someplace. So, the normal times that most people act phony, I suppose. And the last question of this chapter, do you always want to have the last word? I would really like to say no to that, and I would be lying. All right, so now we're going to start a new chapter in the middle of this video, because that's how it goes. And this chapter is dedicated to politics. This could be a rough ride. Let's find out how tasteless some of these questions are, because we've discovered, and if anyone who's watched all of these, kudos to you, there have been some very tasteless questions in this book. Here's the first question in the section of politics. Do you question conventional wisdom and authority? Fuck yes. I used to wear a button that said question authority. Of what ideas and lifestyles are you less or more tolerant of now than you were when you were younger? I'm really tolerant of almost every person's lifestyle, the exception being that of social conservatism. And I become less and less enamored and less tolerant of social conservatism as I get older, because I learn more and more readily and more apparently that social conservatism is at the base of all the ugliness in the world. How would you like to influence people's minds? By getting them to think and getting them to realize that there's almost always a power structure behind everything. And at the base of that power structure is almost always some form of nasty, ugly social conservatism. What is your first impression of a gay couple being affectionate in public? The same I have of anyone else being affectionate in public. If any straight couple or a bi couple or a pan couple is being affectionate in public. I don't care unless they're being tasteless. That's got nothing to do with their gender identity or their sexual preference. It's just, are they being tasteless? That's it. I don't care who's holding hands, who's hugging, who has their arm around each other. Don't care. Just don't. It's not my goddamn business, and I will defend their right to express themselves any way they see fit. Emphasis on efficiency, good or bad. I have obsessed about efficiency at times in my life, and as you can see from behind me, I have not obsessed about efficiency at times in my life. It's very spotty, like where I think I have to be efficient. For example, there was a time when if I left a room and I had an idea of the things I needed to do when I left that room, and I failed to do all the things when I left the room the way I had pictured I was going to, I would berate myself. That was my anxiety talking. So I will enjoy efficiency up to the point where it engages anxiety, and I will try to avoid inefficiency when it begins to push to the edge of depression. It's a narrow line to walk, but but I strive really hard. So that has been the first questions from the chapter of politics. This has been episode 278. I thank you for being here. I hope that you will be here for episode 279.